Hey there folks, I want to talk a bit about Chaenomeles plants today. First, I apologize about the background noise, but this week the corn harvest is underway, so the combine harvester is working in the field nearby. So I guess that most of you are familiar with Chaenomeles japonica or japonica, also known as Japanese quince, but not actually related to quince. It's a flowering bush with sometimes thorny branches and white through pink to purple colors, even to wine colored red flowers, and small walnut sized usually fruit, sometimes smaller, sometimes larger, a very stiff and very aromatic sour fruit. It's also known here in Bulgaria as mountain lemon because the fruits are very sour and can be used as a lemon replacement if you have any success juicing them, and also because they're rich in vitamin C, and of course because this plant has no problems growing in a cold climate. So what you see here on the table are maybe a couple dozen seedlings, which are a mixture of ages. This one, being the youngest, is 1 year old, so it germinated this year, and some of the oldest, such as this one, is 4 to 5 years old, and it's easily over meter 20 tall, and it's also started branching out, and I did a little trim when I dug them out. All those seedlings which you see here came from maybe 4 or 5 fruit which I dug hole in the ground, and that resulted in this very curious shape of the root. You can see how twisted the roots are. That's because all of the seeds basically germinated together, and I weeded out some of the weakest seedlings during the years, but I actually didn't expect, because I don't have previous experience with Chaenomeles seedlings. I imagined that they would have more like a sideways spreading root system, such as on the currants. But this here amazing plant, it grows a very deep taproot, it seems. So of course I didn't manage to get most of the roots. On the largest one, it snapped very close to the surface, so I'm hoping that those side roots will be enough. It also has a tendency to root on the stem if the stem is buried, so I'm planting all of those deeper in hopes that they'll grow new roots. And even some of the very smallest seedlings had their roots snapped when I dug them out, because the roots were very intertwined, and 2 shovels deep wasn't enough to excavate all of them. Okay, so I'm getting my tape measure here to show you how interesting this plant grows. So this is a 1-year-old seedling, and this point at the 20 centimeter mark here was the above ground part, and you can see that the root tips here pass 50 to 55 centimeters, and there's still some root here at that point which continued downwards, so maybe almost 60 centimeters. One of the yard cats is coming to say hello. So it has 20 centimeter above ground and 40 centimeter below ground growth. And this one here, which is 2nd year, it's even more extreme, because its tip got probably snipped or dried in the summer heat. So above ground it has 20 centimeter, but below ground it's 50 plus centimeters. This type of root damage is very bad, but I don't think that it will be fatal to the plant, because I've seen those grow in various suboptimal conditions, and I have high hopes for them. The reason why I'm growing those seedlings is because you might know that the Chaenomeles plants, or the Japanese quince, It requires cross-pollination from different genetics in order to bear fruit. And a few years ago, when we started living here, I found it very curious that several neighboring houses, they have large-sized Chaenomeles bushes, like meter cubed large bush with amazing flowers in spring, but none of them had any fruit set after that. And when I started asking around, I found out that basically all of those plants were cloned. One babushka gave a root sucker to another, and so on and so on. So basically all of the plants around are single genetics, clone plants, and we need different strains, different sources to have any chance of fruiting. And now that this is a mixture of fruit came from different places all over the country, sent to me by some gardener friends, not only each of the individuals will be genetically different even if they come from the same fruit, but we'll have also seedlings from different genetics. And it's hard to judge by looking at those rooted seedlings, but they have slight variation in leaf shape and size, different serration on the edges, and also some of them don't have any thorns on the side branches, while others, such as this one, has this even on the main stem. Maybe it will be hard to see, but you can see that even this small 2-year-old seedling, it has thorns growing on the main stem. So some will be thorny, some will be thornless, preferably. But I'm hoping that this mix of genetics will be enough for all of the plants in the neighborhood to start bearing fruit one day. So that was all for today, folks, and I'll see you in the next one.